Now we were here just a little over, 100 episodes ago, about 115 episodes ago, we were right here. Now we're back here again. Now, as best I can remember, on sprue number AR196, which is this one, the only thing on it is parts necessary to assemble one complete aircraft. So we are safe in nipping absolutely everything off. Alright, where's the tweezers? I think I mentioned this before, but I'm noticing as I get older it's harder to pick up small things. And of course I'll be trimming these up later. Alright, now these ones I want to be careful as I nip them off that I don't accidentally take the part. Now these are the float struts, and this part is sprue, and this part is strut. So if I remember right, the last time I put these on, they were a little bit on the difficult side. It didn't go very far. At least it didn't flip up and end up in the coffee cup. Of course, then I'd have the excuse of, drinking the coffee down to the bottom so I could get it out. Yeah, I think I did that properly. Now, of course, this is supposed to be the engine and the engine cowling. And if I remember right, when I read up on this a few months ago, the engine was a lot more powerful than I thought it was. I'm just going to check that out again. I just got off Google again a few minutes ago and I looked up the statistics on that particular aircraft. 947 horsepower. That's nothing to sneeze at. I grew up around small aircraft when I was younger, and probably the first 20, 30 years of my life I was quite involved. And 947 horsepower in a single engine aircraft, like I say, that was nothing to sneeze at. The aircraft that I learned to fly in and got my license in, it was only 100 horsepower. And yep, that's me. I'm going to take out a few minutes now and clean the sprue and flashing and everything off with these parts. And you notice this one, and this one, and this one. Well, that's sprue. But this one, and this one, well, that's supposed to represent a little machine gun. Don't want to be nipping them off. Oh, and I do have a correction that I should make. I had said, "That's me." Well, I should have said, "That was me." I don't think I could even get in that little plane now. Now I have another example here of where it really helps to know where the sprue ends and the part begins. And it's right down there on this part that's touching my finger. Well, I guess there's 3 parts, but I'm talking about the one that has the largest piece of sprue on it. And yeah, well, I'll put the macro lens on and we'll see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. Now maybe what we should do here is sort of set ourselves up here so it kind of makes a little bit of sense, because part of the float strut plugs into the bottom of the wing and part of it plugs into the fuselage right there and right there. So if we know what's supposed to happen here, we know what to look for, right? And it's supposed to go something like that. Now, right down here is that I'm just hanging onto right now, this intersection right here. That's where we want to, it's really a good idea to know what it's supposed to look like. In other words, there's just a very little tiny, you might call it a pin, that has to fit into that hole. Well, if you look closely, you sort of can see it, but you can also see how it would be extremely easy to cut off. Now I'll put the micro lens on. Okay, there it is. I'm just sort of touching it with the tip of the hobby knife. That's the little pin that's supposed to go into that hole right there. Now I've cut the sprue off of the other 2 places, and I know I could probably take my sanding stick and get rid of some of those burrs, but I'm going to rely on the burrs to turn into sprue goo and help fill those holes, because I'm probably going to be using the Tamiya extra thin on these. Now, not right now, because the wing has to be fastened to the bottom of the fuselage, and you know, I want to get the fuselage assembled first, and then we'll put these on last. I'm just showing this to you now because we're talking about it right now. This was the last piece of sprue off of the last part, and my intention was to show it being nipped off, but it was so precariously held on there by just a thread, you might say, that it came off when I was hardly even squeezing. Anyway, now I do have time to keep going here today. A few more minutes left. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it quits for today. And we'll continue on in the next episode and get some of these parts fastened together. And I'm probably going to be using the for most of it, I think I'll probably be using the extra thin. Anyway, you know how it goes. At least we don't have to cut the wings off on this one here, because this one isn't going to be going in a hanger. Anyway, thanks for watching. All being well, we'll see you tomorrow.